Everyone, Matt here, CMO. As you know, stabilizing the game economy and ICE token is one of our top priorities, and we've been hard at work rolling out a number of initiatives that help on this front. So, for example, we've had the launch of sit and go tournaments, which we're about to be rolling out soon, generating ad revenue in ICE, which I was talking about recently, and utilizing both our Polygon validator node profits and secondary wearable sales royalties purely to burn ICE. Now, these changes, they've brought our burn to earn ratio from where it was in March when we'd stopped or paused net new mints of around 0.25, has brought it up to around about 0.55 today. And this is without sit and go tournaments going live yet. So this is great progress, but we know that there is still a lot more that needs to be done. Today, I'm going to share with you all an idea that we've been scoping out internally for the past few weeks. We believe it will be the most significant improvement to the game economics that we've ever rolled out, and ultimately will set us up to be able to scale sustainably without overwhelming ICE token emissions, which has been the big challenge that we've been trying to overcome for the past few months. Our proposal involves changes to our delegation system. And, while the current system was extremely successful for namely bootstrapping player liquidity, growing the community, it's presented real challenges for our game economy. So if we just look at the makeup of the game economy today, we've got 90% of our daily active users, they come from delegated players. This group is the core of our player base today, yet this same group, they have very few options or, to be honest, motivation to reinvest back into the game economy. And this results in pretty much consistent dumping of ICE, so the sell-offs in the ICE token, which just puts downward price pressure on it. And this is not through the fault of delegate players. We just haven't put any good systems in place that can incentivize reinvestment back into the game economy. In the past few months, we've seen the effects of this on the ICE token, where it's just continued to drop in value. And we've been listening to the thoughts of you all in the community, and we've been discussing and implementing a variety of different initiatives, as I kind of laid out previously. But we know that more needs to be done for us to scale long term. Now, when we look at the real positives of the current delegation system, the fact that we managed to create a zero cost entry point into our ecosystem, which is something that very few Web3 games have managed at all. This has helped us bring in so many great people from all around the world in the community that in many cases would have otherwise been priced out of the project, like many other projects. But at the same time, I think where we've failed, we haven't done a great job at getting the same players on a path to becoming wearable owners. That the path to wearable ownership is something that we talked about a lot and is really, really important in any play and earn game ecosystem. And this is where our new delegation system would come in. So here's what we're proposing and how it would work at a very, very high level. So wearable owners would still be able to delegate out their wearables to players using the same process as today. The main difference here will be that delegated players will earn rewards on what we're provisionally calling locked ICE. You can think about this like an ICE savings bank. This is something that we've had many of you discussing as an idea in the community. It came up in the last roundtable and we took that back and started discussing it internally. We actually love this as an idea. And I also just want to thank everyone for all the contributions in the governance channel and all the other channels. We've been listening to the great ideas coming out of that. So as you accrue more locked ICE, so each day you'd be earning in locked ICE that would show up as a delegated player in your account. And eventually you'll be able to then, when you reach a certain amount of locked ICE, you'll be able to redeem that locked ICE for wearables. We'll have like a redemptions marketplace. And this could be one of our new tournament wearables. It could be an Ice Poker Go, our mobile product wearables. or one of the current metaverse wearables. Each of these will require different amounts of locked ice to unlock them, but they will be available at a significant discount to our previous mint prices, with the whole focus here for delegated players that we're going to accelerate the path to becoming wearable owners. And, once you've redeemed that wearable, that is yours, you own it, and you're free to do what you would like with that wearable. On the other side, the wearable owners will continue to earn their share of rewards in regular ice. Nothing will change on that front. And there will also be the option for delegated players to withdraw their rewards as regular ice. However, for them to do that, they'd have to forfeit a large amount, a pretty significant amount of that locked ice as a withdrawal penalty. So our focus here is to further incentivize players to work towards ownership and giving them a reason, like what I was talking about previously, to reinvest back into the game economy. And this is what will make this whole game economy more sustainable. Now let's talk a little bit about what the results of this change would actually mean. In the immediate term, so say like the first month or so of this going into effect, ice emissions would drop by an estimated 55%. This would actually bring us pretty close, if not at, a 1-to-1 burn to earn ratio in the immediate term. Now, while this would reduce down over time as locked ice is used to redeem wearables, it will still be a very significant contributor to a sustainable burn to earn ratio. And this, combined with even a modest amount of buy pressure on ice, we've got projects in place for this, would inject upward movement in price. And this is what we want to do here. This is how we both stabilize and grow ice over time. The other thing that we would expect from this is going to shift the makeup of our player base, especially over the long term, to include more player owners, which we can see from our data is player owners are the ones that are most likely to reinvest through wearable upgrades. Again, burning more ice. And again, having the incentives to actually want to reinvest back into the game economy. I just want to also say, it's worth noting, this is not a governance proposal just yet. We wanted to share our approach with you all, get your feedback on it before we even begin putting it forward as a formal proposal. It also wouldn't be something that we're going to plan on rolling out right now. We would want to, this is what we're provisionally talking through, is once we have sit and go tournaments and Ice Poker Go launched, which again, we've shared a timeline. Leo's give some timelines around that. So in the very near future, once they are launched, this would be when we would look to also implement the new delegation system. And I also just want to make sure I address the risks that come with this on our side. So over the short term, this change could negatively impact daily active users. And it's really important that we recognize that. To address this, there's a lot of different things that we're thinking through. And we'll work on some short-term incentives that would reward players that remain within the game ecosystem. We're going to double down on removing friction from the process of finding and matching wearable owners to delegated players. This, I know, has been a long time frustration. We're working on this right now. We've also seen a number of community members coming to us with great ideas on how that can be improved. So really, really appreciate that. And what this will then enable us to do, which is something that we've really held back on until we've made substantial improvements to the game economy, is begin investing much more in new player acquisition. Start really unlocking and growing the whole player base. So I know this is a lot. This is a big change, but we truly believe that this will bring enormous long-term benefits to the ecosystem. And it's going to get us into a place where we really believe we can start to expand the player base, launch whole new gameplay experiences, and ultimately deliver greater value to all of you, our early supporters, inside the community. So Hopefully this gives a good overview. Obviously sharing this with more detail in the announcement in Discord, but we would love to just get your feedback, thoughts on this, and work together as a community so that we can craft this into a more formal proposal that we can put forward to the community, share more timelines, and just begin scoping out what the next kind of evolution of the whole new delegation system is. Thanks, everyone.